Does my smile confuse you? Or remind you you're here?
Philosophy, oh, cantaré, oh, no wonder my happy heart sings. Your love has given me wings. Why don't we open it with that song, huh?
You just did.
Oh, did I? I don't care. Did I really? I want to sing it again. Cantaré, oh, what's the rest of the lyrics? Oh, no wonder my happy heart sings. Your love has given me wings. Okay, today's title, it's not about love. Oh, well, your love has given me wings. I'm with Miriam, and I never announced my name. It's really unimportant, just like the title of today's show. I never take my own advice. I never take my own advice. That's funny.
Never is a powerful word.
Say it again.
Never is a powerful word.
Never. Well, yeah, but we don't get lost in language. Never. A lot of people worry if they incorporate a sentence that they've erred or made a mistake. It's okay. That's why we have humor. Humor is for all human error. So it never to you means one thing and never or to me means something else. Now we can work through it because we have the single most important self-help tool, because I hate self-help. It's humor and the ability to laugh at ourselves. There's no four steps to self-help. It's a sense of humor is what we're doing, because the real thrust of this show is comic sense is more important than common sense. This common sense is not that calming. You see it from top to bottom. So, Jordan Peterson, before you get to my book and I get to the stuff we've written, I just watched Bill Maher. It's an old show from a couple of years ago. This guy, Jordan Peterson, has a podcast, very popular podcast. It's not important. Everybody knows who he is. He made a claim he was being, I call it, interrogated by a female interviewer. And she was trying to be provocative and provoking, because they know that yelling, screaming, arguing sells tickets, crossfire, conflict. No good.
No.
We eliminate, no way. So at the end we're in the middle of the show, he said, to think you have to risk being offensive to her. And he said, in fact, this interview, I felt a little uncomfortable and you were treating me rather rudely. And so that comedy is for those who think. Okay? Tragedy for all of us who feel. So tragedy is horizontal. You already know. It's over. Dead. But comedy is vertical. So if you can laugh at yourself, you can lift yourself. So if we're trying to teach people how to lift themselves up with the greatest tool that we all know, stay sure, and maybe I think we had laughter before we had language. I mean, think about that.
Might crying be the same thing as laughing, though?
I love crying. And I think crying is very cathartic. I think it uses the same gland in the brain. But what do I know about brains? But yeah, to think you have to risk being offensive. So our show, we've said it before, our goal, good humor and comedy, is designed to offend millions. Great. We hope to aspire to get to be a great show and really sell comedy, because great comedy and comic sense is designed to offend us all. Isn't that lovely?
That is.
So if you can get over being offended, where no one can get to you, because you can't control what somebody else is going to say. You really can't. Or how they feel. And listen to this. Now, this is beautiful because you're a world traveler. Miriam is a world traveler. She loves people. They love her. She's got how many? 13 different laughs or 27?
Absolutely. I haven't counted them all yet, but perhaps around 50.
Well, we're going to get to them because I joked with her. I said, well, I love you have 37 different laughs because I teach schizophrenia so you can survive in the new millennia. No, I mean, Ray and our producer, my fiance and everything else she has 30 personalities. So it's like being in bed with 30 different women at the same time. So, no, it's great. Okay, so I have to read this slowly because it's got, some. The more thoroughly and substantially a human being exists, the more she will discover the comical. Even one who has merely conceived a great plan toward accomplishing something in the world will discover. So think about it. You have a goal. I never set a goal, but if you set a goal and you try and you fail, you feel like a failure. We all feel like failures, and we're all underdogs. That's the level I'm fond of. Oprah was an underdog. She was abused. You know all this stuff she went through. People know. I guarantee you, whoever it is, take any individual, we're all underdogs. That's why there will be Rocky, Seabiscuit, about a horse, but it's really more about people and the horse. So we're all overcoming feelings of inferiority complexes of we're not good enough. That's why Saturday Night Live in the beginning was so great. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. They were saying, guys, we're all worthy of being laughed at.
Absolutely.
And that's the key. If you can make fun of your shortcomings, your imperfections, your flaws, you can own them.
You'll reign the world.
I rest your case. Bev, you want to start? You want to ask me a couple?
Absolutely. You talk an awful lot about pain, I've noticed.
Pain. Pain is the great teacher. Humor is the great healer. That's the whole thrust of my book. I think that you have to suffer. Jordan Peterson, a lot of people suffer. What was the joke I said about Jesus? Ricky Gervais got a great one. Said about suffering.
Because it's separate.
No, it doesn't matter. Ricky knows what he said.
All suffering is that.
Yeah, no. Well, Jesus suffered for our sins.
And if you're not sinning, then what are you doing?
If you're not sinning, then you're letting him down. So go out there and sit on the. Oscar Wilde had a good one too. Oscar Wilde said, "Every saint has a past, every sinner has a future."
Absolutely. Look at that.
It's a beautiful thing.
So the missing link, might that be part of it? Is that
The missing link? Yeah. Yes. Humor is what does it say behind the title?
It says life is a series of comebacks.
Life is a series of comebacks. One of the greatest lines of all. We learned that. I learned that in sports, but a broken heart, a bad business deal. So we talk about this virtually on every show. Are you coming back from a 6-year relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
And then it's all cycles, you come up and you come down. And it's a series, like it says here, comebacks.
It's a series. Life is a series of comebacks. So you got to get up off the mat.
As quickly as possible.
As quickly as possible. So what we're trying to do is shorten the duration of time that you beat up on yourself, which I highly recommend. You got to be able to take criticisms. We're raising generations where they can't take criticism, and we're hypersensitive.
That's dangerous.
It's dangerous. It's very dangerous, and that's why I started doing this podcast. I was not happy. Free speech, all this shit is being eradicated, and they know. Again, I hate to allude to him, but this guy, where is he? God, his name is G-A-A-D. He's a professor.
One of my favorites, yes.
He's great. He wrote The Parasite.
Parasitic Mind.
So look at you. I love it. Parasitic Mind. He uses satire in his book, and they don't get it. They don't get it.
I was telling you, your producer, that I could see his embedded morals amongst every paragraph, and it's so see-through.
That's wonderful.
Living through his words.
He lives through his words. He cares. Jordan Peterson, these people all care. Neil deGrasse Tyson, whatever his name is, wonderful, his sidekick. I always apologize for mispronouncing his name, but he laughs. He has a sense of humor, and they're not comedians. Christopher Hitchens, you just thought, they were pushing atheists. I even hate that label, but they're all witty, smart men, and they just are trying to talk about religion and how it's kept us down and how it's just abused in wars. How many wars, and we kill more people over my belief is better than your belief. My God is better than your God. My book is better than your book. And then, there's a great, this is funny, Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche he said, I'm so upset that I think it was Hegel, somebody stole his line. And, he's a great writer and people love him or hate him. He's the one that said God is dead. Well, he also, but he loves Hegel's, whoever it was, that said, God's only excuse is that he doesn't exist.
That's his excuse?
God's only excuse is that he doesn't exist because of all the pain and suffering and wars and misery. What God would want us to kill one another? I mean, really, seriously. God's only excuse is that he doesn't exist. That's the joke. You get the jokes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right.
Like, the only reason why we're on this planet is, to go.
We're here to lift one another.
Yes.
I'm saying we can use humor and comic and make one another laugh and when you tell stories, tell every story back to pain in a humorous vein. And the more I've heard you and Julia and Rain, you tell girls stories about something bad that happens to you.
Yes.
And you're laughing
We laugh till we cry, and that's therapy.
And that's twice that's therapy.
Absolutely.
Twice that's
You
therapy.
think I go to therapy? I might need therapy, but that doesn't mean I'm going to hire a psychologist.
Well, listen, that's why I'm, one of the characters I occasionally play in the show, the comedy therapist. I can teach people, I've done it all my life, how to laugh at themselves. And that's why there was a line outside my house before it burned to the burnt.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, you want to ask me another one before I get to this?
Yes,
one?
I want to learn more about the capacious mind.
Okay, well,
Capacious mind, meaning roomy, able to hold much. This is the expanding consciousness that we all aspire to. And I had a quick thought,
Go.
not very many want a capacious mind. They want a constricted mind because now they tell us to specify, to condense, to
Narrow-minded.
to narrow down.
The worst.
And this is the complete opposite you mentioned.
Well, that's why you hit on it. And you know what colleges are doing now? Narrow-minded.
Right.
They're making them one-dimensional to get this degree, to get this job, to get this. They're stopping criticism. They're stopping hypersensitivity. All these things they're teaching. Again, parasitical, what's the name? You got?
Yeah.
He talks about it. Peterson, all the professors that dropped out or checked out, it just said that's what's going on in our top colleges, which used to be about opening mind, expanding consciousness. That's why comedy is consciousness. It's the only thing we have as humans to expand our own consciousness. It mirrors back. Comedy is so great it opens up. Mirrors back all human behavior. It's a guy, we're all dysfunctional. We're all imperfect. And if people just start to believe that, all this self-help, stop reading it. When you make a mistake, laugh at it. Okay, move beyond it. Try and not make it again. But I have another term, compounding stupidity. You're going to make it again.
Of course, because you said try. So trying is not actually doing it.
Trying is not doing. That's what Picasso said. I don't seek, I find. I love it. I love it. You threw in the towel. Okay, now don't worry about it.
No, and I want to. I do want to know, how do you connect? Because you talk a lot about uniting the left and the right, but how do we connect through humor the intuition that comes from our power?
The same way. The gut. Hey, you have to get back to trusting your heart and your gut. You remember, I got a gut feeling about him, right? I'm afraid to feel with my heart because my heart got broken. I don't want to make myself vulnerable. And that's why the human shutdown. We're having a human shutdown on every level.
Every sense.
Every single level. Our heart, we we can't trust ourselves. So Rain and I always talk about be your own hero. We don't need heroes. I'm going to do this, whatever it's called, this O.J. Simpson thing this next week. I'm not looking forward to it, but I said I'm not doing it unless we can talk about our sickness with celebrities and being famous. Everybody. Do you know what? Every day growing up in Los Angeles, because the way I look in sports and everything I did, music, I was a singer, I was all this bullshit. Everybody said, are you a somebody? Should I know you? Because they keep, they came from some other town or city and they came to LA. I want to see a celebrity before I go home. They come up to me and they go, you look like an actor. Should I know you? Here's a great Don Rickles. You ever know who Don Rickles in the community was? He passed a little while ago.
Right.
But he was a very kick-ass, sarcastic. He went over Frank Sinatra because he made fun of him. So 6 months before he died, he's eating at our favorite Italian restaurant. He's with Bob Newhart. And there's people, even younger people, that don't know who they are. Don Rickles and Bob Newhart. They're with their wives. I'm walking out. As I do, Rickles looks at me and he grabs my hand. And I said, he didn't know this, but I said, I used to go to the Sand and Sea Club, and that's where I met you and Bob. I was playing volleyball, and I invited you guys down to play with it at the club. And you, of course, rejected me and said something Ricklish, funny, just like that. I said, come on down. I said, because I gave him my 2 favorite lines. Jews, they're all Jewish. Jews are my life, and Jews are depressed at birth. He remembered it at the restaurant when I reminded him. So he wouldn't let go of my hand now. He's shaking my hand. This is 6 months before he died. Yes. He was still lucid. He's holding my hand. He goes, should I know you? Are you somebody? Just like that. And I said, I just wrote a book, Philosophy, about being the biggest nobody on earth. And he lets go of my hand. He goes, well, then get out of here. That's Rickles. That's Rickles, and that's comedy. And so if you never get offended, all my life, nobody did get to me. In sports, they call it trash talk. Guys are so weak, they try and get to me psychologically. I would just turn it forward. It's turning around and making it into a positive.
And you mentioned this in the book, a psychological or it's a war on the psyche.
It's what
has going on.
It's very psychological humor. The philosophy behind it is everything we're talking about. But the psychology is, in sports, I tell the story because it's just as simple as a short one. The first guy said, I'd like to punch you in the nose. And I go, what a generous offer. And all of a sudden, that guy later on became my best friend because he was the guy I was in the most competition with. So he wanted to be my friend, but he didn't know how to go about because his ego. And what I really love, at the end of the day, comedy and humor and everything we're talking about is designed to kill the ego. You have to build your ego, whatever that means, ego. In other words, sure, you have to have self-love and self-confidence. And we talk a lot about that in the show. And I think the shortcut to loving yourself is laughing at yourself. It really is. Because if you can laugh at your flaws and foibles, you can learn to love yourself a lot better and forgive yourself.
Absolutely.
It's real forgiveness.
True forgiveness.
It's really...
like a child. Forgive who forgets. Everybody produces.
And that's what children do. It's so funny. You mentioned it. They play on the playground, children. Whatever sport, whatever thing they're playing. They yell, they cry, they spit, somebody kicks them, they get in a fight. But guess, 5 seconds later... God, you understand.
It's taken me lifetimes, even though I don't look it. Okay.
But you're young, but that means a lot to me that you get it.
Well,
that means there's hope for the human race. You're it.
Yes.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Hallelujah. Been found. All the suffering means.
You and Rain are our last resort. May I call you the last resort?
The last drop of holy water.
Okay, so comic sense is not about being funny. It's about seeing the contradiction without needing to fix it immediately. So Rain knows when I met her, I said, there was a great poem, I think it's Walt Whitman. I contradict myself, I contain multitudes. So think about that. Okay? Women, men don't understand women. Think, oh, God, they're too tough to understand. Women are so easy to understand.
I mean, we always contradict ourselves. It's not that hard to comprehend us. If you don't attach to one entity, just let all of them shine at the same time. And
Yeah. So that's what's important about that. I watch Bill Maher, I watch all these shows. He, she, they, we all contradict ourselves. I can say something on this podcast and 3 months from now contradict myself because something maybe happened that led me down a different road and I grew, I somehow knew. So we're constantly, we don't do it, we're just human. And it's just part and parcel.
Einstein says that he doesn't know nothing, or who is this, a phase race? It's no way on nothing.
You know, I think it is like, or Socrates was Socrates.
See?
But,
My case.
I'll use an Einstein quote. Because I wrote in my book 300 years ago, before I read the Einstein quote, humor is always searching for the truth. Because this guy, Lerner, just came out with a book called Truth. And he was on Neil deGrasse Tyson's show. And he was talking about his book, Truth. I said, humor is always searching for the truth. This is true. Comedians are always trying to show us where we're at as a society, as a people, and, get us to wake up. It's about wake up. It's about our stupidity.
Exactly.
They know what they're doing, and they're some of the brighter minds, the great Chronicles. Whether it was George Carlin, Chris Rock, doesn't matter. There's a lot of them out there. Most of them just say, I want to have fun, and I just want to make people laugh. But in the end, I believe they care. Even Ricky Gervais said it before the Golden Globes. He goes, I don't care. And he's talking and making fun of all the movie stars. He goes, I know Epstein's your friend and all these guys and all these people, but he just lit them up. He just lit them up. It was great. Okay, so here's what's below the common sense. Where common sense says, make it make sense. Comic sense knows that's not always possible. And what makes sense to you may not make sense to me in the moment. Maybe never. You got to have that ability to smile so you can listen. The key to humor and everything we're selling, we need to be better listeners. We're horrible listeners. And we were talking about it earlier. I was talking about with Shannon. The men are really locked up emotionally. They're so afraid.
They're gated.
What a big word. They're gated. They have their security systems up and everything built in, and they just can't make themselves vulnerable. And they understand that's where my success is. Do you know that I'm the most rejected man on planet Earth? Because of my personality, I reach out, men, women. I mean, I'm not rejected by women, rejected by men. I was rejected by my family. I mean, the list is so long.
You would be the greatest salesman of us.
I do the most.
You are rejection.
I should change it from comedy therapist to the most rejected human ever. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. So I needed a defense mechanism. I needed a survival tool. I needed something. Then I sprinted to humor and comedy. I go, God, get me out of my own way. God, right? How many rejections can you take?
Have you tallied them up?
It's still zero. Oh, it's in the millions. It's in the millions.
Daily, how many
Like even a hello. Ray and I, we were out to dinner, and now she does it with me. The strangers will walk in the restaurant. We like to sit right by the front door like this, and these people walk in. It's the Shishi restaurant where the stars all come, all presidents, everybody comes in. And they're always looking for, again, a celebrity or somebody fits, and then they see me in my costume or whatever the hell they're
costume?
Yeah, I'm laughing, and I always laugh. And so as they walk in, because I know people feel uncomfortable, entering, especially a shishi place. Okay. So we wave to them, they wave like this, and they go, do I know you? Like, you do now? It's that simple.
Absolutely.
they started laughing. Finally, you got some people that laughed, and they go, "Well, it's nice to know you." That's rare. In LA, that's real rare. Usually you see something silly. Somebody pulls out a gun and goes, "What an asshole."
No, there's no
Oh, yeah.
way. Yep.
Yeah, Larry David, when he eats there, eats at our restaurant all the time. He came in with Albert Brooks, Martin Short, Larry David. Oh, yeah, Larry David had a whole show he did where, I don't want to smile. This character's so good. He goes, "I don't want to smile."
I don't want.
He goes, "Yeah." He said, "If I don't feel like smiling," somebody said, "How come you never smile?" He goes, "I don't want to smile." And I love that.
Are they paying him to smile now?
They pay him a lot. Guy's worth more money than God does. So
Not smile.
he can go tell everybody not to smile. By the way, he got into a thing with Bill Maher. I mean, he was upset with Bill Maher for having dinner with Trump. He said, "Oh, really? You had to go have dinner with Hitler?" Well, he is Jewish. Well, Bill Maher's half Jewish, too. The whole thing. So, yeah, it's great. But comics shouldn't fight. He should understand Bill Maher had his reason for doing it, which he explained on his show. And I like talking about comics. But also, like I said, Richard Dawkins, not a comic. Christopher Hitchens, great wit. Too bad he died. He loved to smoke and drink. God bless him for it. I love him. Anyhow, we're going to move on.
Tell me,
But this is great.
yes.
Normal thinking. Normal thinking, common sense, seeks certainty, avoids contradictions, wants resolution, and takes identity seriously. Did you get all that? I'll repeat it. Normal thinking, common sense. That's why common sense is superior. Okay, I'll start with each one. Common sense thinking. Notice these contradictions we talked about. Nope, I'm in the wrong line. Oh yeah. Normal thinking, common sense seeks certainty. There is no certainty. There is no certainty. There is no guarantee. You can plan your day, but something's going to happen. There is no guarantee when you got that front door. We just don't have any certainty. Does that make sense, dude?
Does it?
I'm asking.
What do I know?
Clemmy, that's why you're sitting here. You silly girl. That's a certainty. Okay, wants resolution. So common sense wants resolution. Can't always have resolution.
There's.
You have to resolve it internally. If you can't resolve something with your boyfriend or me, you better resolve it inside.
Internally, you said.
Intro. That's what that means. Okay, this is the big one. Takes identity seriously. Now, who takes their identity more serious than Donald Trump?
Or the Pope.
Or the Pope. And worship, I think the word worship should be eradicated, eliminated from language. We should not worship ourselves. You could admire, etc., everything like that. But worship and getting down, maybe do like the Asians. If you want to bow, each one of us should bow to one another. I think that's wonderful.
I find this one more respectful.
Oh yeah, a little salute. Yeah, a healthy salute. Look, the friend. Now you're observing the trap. Okay, this is really good. Okay, let's get to this fish. Let the fun side, the real power. Common sense doesn't make you passive. It makes you unhooked. So you're not passive, you're liberated. So when you liberate yourself, then you can get back to what you asked me to speak from the heart you got. The child, we shut down every child's spirit. I always talk about the spirit. Every human being is a spiritual being from the get-go. We call it the child spirit. I don't care what your geography is, wherever you're already a spiritual person. You don't have to travel the globe to find yourself or find spirituality. You're not going to find it. Hello, Joe. You climb you climb the highest hill looking for spirituality, and the monk that's going to give it to you. And you get up to the hill. The story was, and the head monk, at this long journey, you almost kill yourself looking for, you find yourself spirituality. He goes, the monk goes, you got a cigarette? That's comedy. That's Zen. That's sensory. He went right back down the hill with what he brought up the hill. So if you don't bring it up the hill, you ain't gonna have the spirituality going down there. It's good stuff.
That took me out right there.
Right there. You got a cigarette? Oh. I mean, there's
That one took us
all these sorts of time. And right now, what are the unhooking, the freedom to express yourself is what that means. Why humor and having sense of humor. You can go anywhere, you can listen to anybody, but you need for that person to have at least a modicum of humor.
a very slight.
Yeah, and that's why women really need a sense of humor to help open us scared little boys. All women know we're scared little boys forever. We're little boys for eternity. You know, women mature by 20, 30 years ahead of a man.
Right.
We're emotionally retarded. We are. We're all, like you said, we're all locked up,
It's like pharaohs. We have to pet them.
jaded. Yeah, like Pharaoh. We got to get back to more affection, nurturing, touch. Touch, you know how important touch is?
But everybody runs away from it.
Afraid of it.
Absolutely. We're
Affection. And we're starving for it. All we touch is inanimate objects. Human touch, right out the window. And that is a metaphor for everything else we're talking about.
yes.
It's really important.
And I found that with fragile egos, it is the most dangerous to use comedy and to use affection because
That's
it's a threat.
It's a threat.
It's a double threat.
They take it like, are you making fun of me? You put me down? No. I'm trying to get close to you. I'm trying to get next to you. I'll tell you a story. This is true. And this is taking a big risk because in our world today. So I had in the Palisades, where I grew up, Afghanis, Persians, they all came from their country, but especially the ones that money and well-educated kids and what have you. And they moved in the Palisades. These guys were 16 to 18. I think I was already like 30-ish. And I'd go to my favorite coffee shop. And I'd sit there and I'd read whatever I was doing. And they got interested. They came up to me. And I'd ask them, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Afghanistan. Oh, I'm from Iran. I'm from... And I said, oh, you're shish kebab. You're a falafel. They started laughing. I went right into, I didn't say shit behind their back. I went right in. I became instant friend. They rushed the next day to come have coffee. They go, what time do you kids go in the one? What time do you get in the morning? So they were eager, they were hungry, and they all had a sense of humor. And they came here. And I told them, I said, you can't come here and change our rules to accommodate what you left behind, guys. I said, you want to be embraced here, just like if I go to Italy or France, which we're doing, you know, I wish I spoke all the languages so you'd be more sensitive to their culture.
Right.
I go to Iran and all this stuff, you know, you got to adapt. You got to adapt to their way of thinking, the food. Why was Anthony Bourdain so great?
He was loved.
He was loved and he adapted to, he was curious, that the great word that you taught to me.
Isn't he the one who says that, as in when you're in Rome, do as Romans do?
He didn't say it, but he might as well have.
Because he embodied it.
He embodied.
He's the perfect example.
It was a perfect, when in Rome, do as the Romans, eat the Romans' food, drink their thing, you know, well, maybe don't sleep with guys and girls, but it was Roman. No, where's Roman?
You know, in Mexico, it's the greatest offense to not take a tequila when somebody's offering you to. They come to their house because they're going to pull out the best dicta.
There it is. He went to Asia. If you don't drink this stuff, he went to some countries where they drink nasty stuff. You know, he had stuff that, had snakes in the jar. It's their drink. He had to suck down a lot of stuff.
And without making a face.
Oh, he ate a snake's heart, a live cobra heart. They took a cobra. Is that the one that has the head like that?
Dancing?
They grabbed it. They know how to grab it, yeah. They grabbed it, sliced it open. I had to look away. I'm a lightweight. Sliced it open. The snake is still alive. They take the heart out and he swallowed it. He said, "Oh, I can see. I can feel it palpitating." I'm going, "No, yeah, I mean, seriously." So when in Rome,
Do the Romans.
let me just put you this way. I can't even, like I said, I can't even take my own advice. I couldn't be a Roman. Roman said, "Yeah, I'm going to eat that guy's heart next year. They're about to slice him up, and yeah, no,
No.
yeah." So I retract that. So I contradict myself.
Look, and how often are we contradicting ourselves? Sometimes by the minute. Or
Constantly.
you learn something new, and now you got to implement it
Exactly.
a certain way, mesh to mesh together.
And you're always at the end of the day, whatever you go through, whatever horrible nightmares have you, find a friend to communicate that you can tell your nightmarish story. But don't, I always say, tell every story of pain, frustration, etc. in a humorous vein. You know, we all say, like, "Can you believe that happened to me?"
Can you believe it?
And my friend John.
Yes, I do believe it. Out of all the people in the world that I imagine that could possibly happen to, I pictured you.
Exactly, except in Rome. No, no, but my friend John, I'll tell stories that we grew up together. And I said, "John, I said, can you believe that happened to me?" He goes, 100%. That's freaking happened. And I had to stop
In
talking.
fact, you know what? I knew.
Yeah. So I contradicted myself. Can you believe that? Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, wait.
Who else would that happen to you?
Yeah, well, then, yeah, what else is going on? And I can contradict myself. Oh God. Okay, so let's see if we can find some more stuff. Oh, how are we doing? This is. I want to have fun because the thing we're really talking about at the end of the day. You see the title of this book. I'm gonna hold up. Understanding Stupidity.
Okay.
It's a great book. It's way too intellectually written. Yeah, I have to look up every third word. He was, and something bad happened to this guy. But you want to hear something funny, which is not that funny actually.
Well, you can make it funny.
Yeah, we'll make it funny. I wasn't planning on doing this, but against stupidity, the very gods themselves contend in vain. Against stupidity, the very gods themselves contend in vain. Means you have no chance. When you're talking to a really stupid person, give it up. So there are people that are beyond this understanding of what's valuable. Why understanding your own stupidity? Because they can't admit they're wrong. They won't think about the possibility, maybe the next day or something that they talked about in conversation was stupid. They'll always say, "Oh, she's so stupid. He's so stupid." They'll blame it. They'll put it on somebody else. But indeed, it could be you. So that's why a life without reflection is not worth living. So sometimes you have to go home, even in boyfriend, girlfriend, wherever you go. Well, they say, "I said this and I said that." And that's how I overcome my own contradictions. I'll go home, like, after we see this show. And, like, you could watch a podcast, which I don't, I don't watch it. But we had to in sports. When I made a mistake
Yeah.
in sports,
Mistake.
everybody, the 30 guys watching the tape the next day, they all laughed. That's Schadenfreude. Laughing at other people's stupidity and mistake. But learning to laugh at our own is a,
That's a very interesting thing you say. They laugh at the replay of the mistakes.
That's right. But the key is to learn to laugh at your own mistake and make sure that you're not the one that sings in soup. So here's a great card I grabbed. You know, how many times a day do you hear this? Right now it's rampant. Everything happens for a reason. Now they stop there. Everything happens for a reason. Here's the part that we're selling may need humor. You ready? Sometimes the reason is that you're stupid and make bad decisions.
So let's accept it. We're not cultures, right?
Exactly. So stupidity is what we're really trying to overcome.
Can we really get faster though, instead of going home and reflecting in that same second, say, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
It may not happen in that second. It takes a long time to get over stupidity.
And ego, then again.
That's back to ego and stupidity. They're almost coalesced.
How have you not lost your innocence?
Well, because my innocence. I have at my age kept the innocence of a child. I'm told that constantly, because I believe there are two kinds of people, childlike and childish. Most of the world is childish. In fact, the people that run all the politicians, they're all childish.
You're playing house.
They're playing house. They're playing with our lives. We now have a black and white world, politics. Remember what I wrote when we were at the thing? And Vilma R, the people would run with this and love it. I hope so. Woke is no joke. Yes, it is. It's insane.
But you said it with a little accent. You said, awoke.
Awoke is no joke. Yeah, I forgot I was part Italian.
Come on. Must have...
Not in contribution. Or just stupidity. Whichever one. But is that actually what we're doing? You see this ring? Got me this book. Critical thinking. So comedy helps us. And in this whole book, guess what? They don't have one thing about humor or comic sense or comic. You know how sad that is to me?
That's critical.
It's critical. God. So you can say criticism. You can't repin it all. Logic, decisions, and they have a great thing. By the way, this is
You have to be so literal.
That's right. If you wear that game face, you have to wear that. And here, this same book on the psychology, the ideas simply explain. Big ideas, big ideas.
Big ideas.
Yeah. Oh, and we have that pillow over there that reads, "This is a horrible idea. What time should I be there?"
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm ready to go now.
It happened the other night. I drove an hour out to dinner. I didn't tell Ray I gotta be willing to say no more. That was the most torturous thing in the world. Yeah.
Spontaneity is written all over this thing.
Spontaneity. I have been. Yeah. Well, we lost spontaneity. So all actors know this. All human beings know this. The power of now. All these guys wrote all these books. If you're not in the moment, you're not living. I'm here. I'm omnipresent. I'm omnipotent, or just lumpitent, or whatever, or all the above. So that's why I'm so happy. I remember all these comedians. They said as I got older, I lost my testosterone. It was the happiest days of my life. All the pressure's off. I don't go.
Y'all heard that here first.
Hey guys, get rid of that testosterone and you'll live like a kid. You'll be so happy. And live 100 years longer. Yeah, so go ahead, open up.
Let's see what you talk about spontaneity. I like that because, the loss of spontaneity, hopefully this hasn't happened. See, Andrews, you're wishing well.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Hope is restored. Hopefully this hasn't happened. Because if it happens, it might be the biggest tragedy. If a friend calls you at the last minute, be ready and available for fun.
Right.
Make fun your first priority and responsibility. Priority and responsibility.
Yeah, I wrote that.
That's right. Should be words right there.
Yeah.
Your kids will love you for it. People will love you for it.
Yeah. Let me think it that.
What else can we say? Responsibility. We have a responsibility.
Oh, and I have right above the fountain of youth. Humor is the fountain of youth. That's how I keep my innocence. That's how I keep a young mind, because I care. Empath?
Empath.
We talked about your...
Yes.
You were joking. Your boyfriend was an empath?
Yeah, no.
Well, there was like 3 or 4 components
I
here.
could write a whole book on how to live as a surviving empath.
And survive.
Right.
Well, aren't they supposed to be compassionate and a lot of good things? Empathetic? So he was,
That's the funniest shit I've ever heard.
so he was into those things.
Woke, you woke. See though,
Woker's no joke.
and woke is no joke.
So he was the furthest thing from
Look,
an empath.
we live in a polar world where there's good and there's bad. So even empaths have their other side
Wow.
that also ends in path.
The duality.
Two paths.
That's why we have
Empath and empath. I don't know what.
our whole show is based, you nailed it again. The duality of our nature. You have to be able to look at your dart, look at your screwed up side, you're not thinking properly, and laugh at it. Yes.
It goes deep.
It does go deep. And that's why humor is the fountain of youth. Everybody's looking for the fountain of youth. Comic sense is it. If you want to laugh and let go, I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. Humor, a great healer.
Yes, you wrote that.
Norman Cousins, a lot of people talked about it. They wrote books. Norman Cousins, like 60 years ago, Anatomy of an Illness. So he claims he was given 1 in 500 chance to live. He was a doctor, I believe.
1 in 100 chance?
1 in 500. It was a particular disease, which I can't pronounce. But he wrote a book about anatomy of the illness. He believed in vitamin C and comedy and humor. And he swears he cured himself. And he got a lot of play out of it at the time. We need to go back to that because he was on, like Dr. Patch Adams. Robin Williams played the doctor. Now, he went over the top what he did to hospitals, but I was recently in a hospital, and I worked in a hospital when I was 16. They have on the news and the most depressing stuff. Just imagine if they were playing all the comedies, Laurel and Hardy from the old days, the Three Stooges. People would be laughing. They'd be healing themselves.
In there?
They'd be getting better instead of watching if it bleeds, it leads, and the depressing stuff. I wouldn't want to get out of the hospital. No, boy, don't go in a hospital. Do whatever you can to stay away from hospital. Okay. Now, I always like titles to make fun of myself. Like, I never take my own advice. Like, it's true. My title, did you see this one? There's definitely something wrong with me.
There's definitely something wrong.
There is.
And you can say it in many ways, like laughing, there's definitely something wrong with me. Or you could say it very sad.
Yeah, imagine if your empath boyfriend would have said that. He said, you know what, Miriam, there's something wrong with me. And then he went ahead and proved it.
Well, I would have laughed and then proved it. That's right.
Well, and maybe he could have laughed himself and become an empath instead of lying about what he is.
And what makes you an empath? Let's see. Okay, so cover the three.
Well, there's compassion. I don't know. Victoria just told me a friend.
Compassion.
Alexa, what is an empath?
An empath is someone who senses and feels other people's emotions as if they were their own, often picking up on feelings more deeply than most.
Right.
And hey, mind if I ask your name? It helps me personalize things for you.
Joe Bob. Okay. I like to go with fake
But
names.
she said taking others' feelings as their own. And that is the number one rule you shouldn't break. You shan't break. Is taking other people's burdens and placing them on your outro.
Okay.
That's the thin line between being an empath and an empath. And when it becomes inward, it's disastrous.
Yes.
Disastrous.
And the flip side of that,
Is like,
if I may,
now you bring
don't take your pain and think by transferring it to somebody else that's going to alleviate you.
Right.
So it's a two-way mirroring. So there's definitely something wrong with me. Let's see what I wrote. Self-deprecating humor is enjoyed by everyone. So practice making fun of your defects, flaws, foibles, shortcomings daily amongst friends and acquaintances. They will love you for it. So just think about the next time you're having a glass of wine, you're meeting a guy and he wants to know about you and something. And somehow in the conversation you felt, well, there's definitely something wrong with, what's he going to say? You were up front. So if you do have the problem down the road, you can go, I told you so.
It was in the receipt. upon the purchase. It said in the receipt.
It wasn't the fact you didn't pick up the check for dinner, you cheat screw. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, at the basis, the child's mind. Now this is where once I read a little bit of Eastern thought. Rumi,
Yes.
the child's mind.
Yes.
Rumi said, cut off your head. That's probably the shortest poem he wrote. Okay, the child's mind. What is good and great in all this must be preserved. Boy, is actually comes back to the child spirit. It keeps us most curious and interested, as well as playful and fun and interesting. All children can laugh at themselves. This is the clean slate, the purity of the child's mind. That's what we have to preserve. We know what happens. We fill this sponge, this little sponge, with all sorts of shit. And it's every growing up person's responsibility to push out the negative, the crap, whether you love your mom, dad, don't. You gotta, humor is a filter.
Yes.
It's a filter.
Yes.
You can clean, air your own closet.
I call them spider webs. You gotta take off the spider
Yeah.
webs.
Oh, you ever get the spider web? It's, the eerie heat feeling.
They're not even your spider webs. They're inherited spider webs
Yeah.
from parents and parents.
The purity of a child's mind. So I'm able to have that most of the time. Humor runs free and keeps the idea of play and fun totally alive and well. As we get larger, things want to kill the play and fun. A well-developed sense of humor is the key to life. Make no mistake about it. We are here to play. So I'm going to stop there. I use play a lot. If you ask me my favorite word, one word, why are we here on earth? It's not to procreate. And even if you procreate, sex should be play and fun.
Yes.
The minute it stops being playful and fun, you're headed down the wrong road. Exactly. And those kids that you're going to procreate, if you don't play with them, that's attention, and attention is love. Mm-hmm. If you can't do those three things, do not have children.
Exit now.
Exit early, and don't be afraid to be alone, because you got to work and fall in love with yourself before you go out and torture somebody else. You damn right, yeah. Oh, you think screw? Or I am screwing. No. As we get larger, a well-developed sense of humor is the key to life. Make no mistake about we are glad to have fun. Okay. Oh, the consummate actor. We are all actors on the world stage. Make sure to play your part, but make your part real. In other words, be true to thyself, who you are. It's my job to be a great actor, listen to you, and not react. A lot of actors say, oh yes, well, I react. You want to respond. You responsive. That's improvisation. And that's what humor is, the number one tool for actors. And most actors don't know that. The great ones don't. Because you can be highly improvisational. And I do it all day long. I've done it my whole life. And that's why I can get away with murder. They call me the trickster, the clown, the jester, the fool. I got more monikers and handles than you could ever imagine.
This is terrifying.
It is terrifying. I'm terrified of myself. Oh, you want to hear the cosmic joke?
Yes, please.
You are here.
Ooh. I might have forgot I was somewhere else with all this.
That's all you want to do.
Oh.
The critic. We live in a world of criticism. And this is never, ever going to change. So get used to it, boys and girls. But you can adjust, adapt, advance, use the humor to make all criticism a learning thing, a positive thing in time. Okay, I'll stop there and put my thumb on it. A positive thing. So you have to discern the criticism. Is it good or bad? If somebody says something to you that hurts or offends you. But later on, if you can't do it in the moment, you want to look at it and give it some time to think if there's any truth in that and then improve on it and maybe lose it, or a thought say, well, no, the person was wrong. I don't feel that that's true about it. You can say it in the moment too, but don't be offended by it. That's it. You don't want to be offended by anything. That's the beauty of having a strong sense of self and a sense of humor. And by the way, that's the way to have a strong sense of self, is by having that sense of humor where you can laugh at yourself and everybody else so you can listen to her. This is genius stuff, man. Oh yeah, this is beyond. And nobody solves the world. No school has ever taught what we're doing on this
Because
podcast.
they're against individuation. You just said it.
They're against individuals. They want, remember John Cleese? All the Catholic boys, 800 of them was sitting in church, just like this, and whoever, the rabbi, the priest, whatever, he's talking just like this, and all the Catholic boys, and he goes, remember, kids, you're all individuals. And then all 800 of them in unison go, we all are individuals. I was John Cleese's case.
Oh, the hive mind.
Oh, the hype mind, the pipeline. Okay, the thing. Let's see. Once you stop choking on criticism and realize that no one can put you down but you. I'm going to read that again. Kind of came rude. I wrote this piece of shit book. Once you stop choking on criticism and realize that no one can put you down but you. No.
Nobody has a key.
So.
They don't teach this in school there.
You are, and they throw, no one can put you down but you. If you can realize that, you are in the throes of humor. And then finish the sentence. This is how you learn to take everything as a compliment. So I have two tenets, and I have many tenets, the two of them. Take everything, let's imagine this, take everything a person says as a compliment, water off a duck's back, just like this, right? And talk up to everyone. Never talk down.
Right.
That's like choke. Talk up. I talk up to people. I meet people, little kids again, for the short time they spend there. Don't you feel like a child right now?
Absolutely. So you're beautiful. Look at my eyes filled with curiosity.
And you're going to
Wish I could dissect your brain.
your chair. We have very pretty eyes, actually. We should get it close to the damn you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Maybe he's enjoy while they're here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but this is so
One
good.
lasts is too long.
Yeah.
Perhaps another 80 years and that's it.
Yeah.
If I get lucky.
Well, listen, we have so much more to talk about, but I think we should wrap it up. And I always, at the end of the show, it's an old expression from the car business. I go, I wish people many happy miles or time travel. Like I time travel without ever leaving the chair.
And I'll say my favorite word that I take from philosophy, have an awful day.
That's right. Have an awful day. Many happy miles and Rain.
Stay human. Keep the change.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Well, that was more.
I don't laugh because life is easy. I laugh because I see the mind can sell you stories, then charge you rent to be free. They call it normal to panic to worship the loudest fear. But a thought becomes a prison the moment you hold it near. So I ask one honest question, not to win, just to wake. Is this truth I'm believing, or just memory and ache? I use humor like a flashlight in a room full of certain lies. Comic sense isn't comedy, it's sight with a smile in its eyes. Critical thinking is mercy, consciousness is breath and release. If you can laugh at the story, you can finally step into peace. Sometimes I'm quiet and listening to a child asking, is love safe? I don't fix him with answers, I stay and give him space. So laugh, not to escape, but to see what's always been true. Nothing real is against you, and life is quietly loving you. Does my smile confuse you, or remind you you're here? Does my smile confuse you, or